Hello, and welcome to the LinkNotions tutorial on how to create a world. This video will show you how to use the basic functions that are necessary to create your own world on LinkNotions. First, go to the LinkNotions internet site, linknotions.com. We use the Chrome browser. This one has been tested. We select the English language. To create a world, you must have an account and you need a basic license. If you have it, go to My LinkNotions. Log into My account. Enter your email address and your password and finally click on Login. If you don't have an account, go to the shop. Buy a license. Then you get to a page with details on the prices. Simply click here to access the login window. Choose New to LinkNotions, Register. Register and buy a license. You come to your account on My LinkNotions. In the top bar, you can choose My LinkNotions, Profile, you can change it if you like, Shop, Log Out, and you can choose another language. You see that we have bought a basic license and 3 world licenses. The basic license enables you to create 10 worlds. Each world license enables you to create 10 worlds deriving from the world. In this tutorial we want to create a world of our own. Click Create Workspaces in My Workspaces. A window appears. Choose the first language. This is a language in which your world will always open. Of course you can write in different languages. Fill in the name of your world, My First World. The width and height of your workspace are the number of boxes that you want to have in your world. A width of 15 and a height of 6 will, for example, give you 90 boxes in which you can then insert your notions. Now you can press the Create button and you are in our new workspace that we call World. The first thing you'll find are the 90 empty boxes. Choose the language in which you want to work. Choose a flag to fix the language of the software. You can choose between French, English and German. Here you can choose the language of the world in which you are. You have your main language, but as soon as you write anything in another language, the language will be added to the list. You can now start putting in some notions into our world. Double-click on any empty box and give in the name of your notion. I will create 2 different boxes. One notion I will call Cars, and the other one I will name Pollution. The notions will appear as a grey box with the names written inside. If you want to change the colour of the description of this notion, double-click or right-click the notion box and choose Modify. In the Notion Property window, you can fill the notion. Enter the author, an explanation in one language. Change language and enter the explanation in this language. Click Add Value and you can enter values by different criteria which are called A, B, C and D. In Settings, you can change these letters by criteria adapted to the current world. In our case, we could take country, date, value and reference. Add a file, for instance an interesting article about cars. You can download any type of file. Reading it will depend on your browser and the plugins of your computer. Let's click Save to leave the Notion Properties window. Click in an empty space to unselect the notion. If you roll over the notion now, the info window on the right will show you the information about the notion. If you want to rearrange your world, you can move a notion to a different box using the drag and drop function. By clicking and holding a notion, you can shift the notion to any other empty box. You can create as many notions as you like in your world, but the interesting part will be when you create links between them. In order to create a link between two notions, move your mouse cursor over one notion. Two small blue circles appear. The one at the top stands for the incoming links. The one at the bottom stands for the outgoing links. As we want to say that cars have an influence on pollution, we want to create an outgoing link from cars. Therefore, we click the small blue circle on the bottom of the notion, and then click the notion pollution anywhere. In our example, we've made an outgoing link from the notion cars that connects with the notion pollution. We arrive at the link properties window. As in the notion properties window, it gives us information about the link and enables us to modify the link and enter information about it. The information you get is, the notion cars influences the notion pollution. By default, the software chooses a positive link. LinkNotions has reserved the green color for this type of link. This means that if the first notion changes in a direction, the second notion changes in the same direction. This is true for our example. If cars increase, if the numbers of cars increases, pollution increases too. If you want to change the type of link, you can choose a negative link, for instance. LinkNotions has reserved the red color for this type of link. You would have to choose this if the first notion varies in one direction and the other notion in the opposite direction. Positive and negative types of links are predefined by LinkNotions. However, you can define all kinds of links and give them a color of your choice. Click New, enter a name, for instance, is a friend of, or is bigger than. Choose a color. All your defined links will appear in this window. In our case, we have what we call a positive link. Let's click it again and save. This is our link, cars influence pollution. Let's create another notion, quality of life. We know now how to do it. Double-click any empty notion, give it a name, and click Create. Let's link two notions. We want to say that if pollution increases, then quality of life decreases. The link goes from pollution to quality of life. So we click the bottom circle of pollution and then the notion influenced. These notions evolve in an opposite direction. This is what we would call a negative link. It has the red color. If you roll over a link, it becomes highlighted and you can get an information snapped to the cursor. If you now want to change any settings of your links, double-click the link. Another way is to double-click or right-click a notion and choose the link with the other notion involved. You get back to the link properties window we analyzed before. If you want to enlarge or reduce your world, you simply double-click or right-click a number or a letter. Choose one of these proposed icons. We choose Insert Right, and a row or column is added. Let's analyze the workspace now. At the top of the screen, you find navigating and viewing tools, which you can use to keep an overview over your workspace. To the right, you have the settings of your workspace, a search function, a map showing you where you are in your world, and an info box, which gives you information on the objects that your mouse cursor crosses. Some of these tools are important to work with and only available in edit mode. First, you have simultaneous displacement. We have seen that you can move a notion with drag and drop. To move several notions together, use the simultaneous displacement function. Click on the button. In the window that opens, specify the area to move, and then specify the location where you want to move the notions. Click and move all the notions of the defined area to the new location. The only condition is that the new location must be empty. It should not contain any other notions. We still have 3 buttons specific to edit mode. The SVG. This function is used to export the world in SVG format. You can then print the world. N, standing for notion. This function allows you to export a list of all the notions and their characteristics, position of the notion, explanations, in the CSV format which is converted into an Excel list. L, standing for link. This allows you to export a list of all the links and their characteristics, position of related notions, explanations, in the CSV format which is converted into an Excel list. The last part of this video will show you how to use domains. In order to demonstrate this better, let us have a look at a more extended world. In this world I have added several other notions like motorbikes, traffic jams and international trade, which are already all linked with each other. All vehicles are placed in a domain called motor vehicles. If you now feel that certain notions belong in one same group, you can create a domain. To create a domain, click on the domain button in the top right corner of your screen and click Create Domain. You will now be asked to draw the size of your domain by clicking its corners. Enter the name of your domain and the area will then be coloured, signifying that all notions inside it belong to this domain. In our example, I will include pollution, traffic jams, international trade in a domain called consequences. The domain will at first be red, but you can alter the colour in the domain properties, which you will find by clicking on the small pencil icon next to the respective domain. You now know how to create a world in LinkNotions. In our example, we have started with a small world, but take a look at this one. This is the LinkNotion world of economics, consisting of 400 notions and more than 1,000 links. To get more information, have a look at LinkNotion's internet site. Go to Menu, Info, User Manual, Edit Mode. You'll have all the information explained with images and text. Thank you for listening and enjoy working with LinkNotions.